My name's Aiden, and I'd love to show you what we've built. Frequent readers like me often come across these long-form articles that we just don't have the time to read. And while sure I'd love to learn about sunflowers, that's what I'm presuming this article is about, because we have misleading headlines and short headlines that don't really summarize for us what the text is about, we just don't have the time in the day to read this stuff. Well, that's where Summarizer comes in. In the top right, we click this light bulb with a brain in it, and that brings up our Summarizer. Summarize an article with the click of a button. Simply click Summarize, and your article is going to be summarized for you. I'll go ahead and click it, and then we're going to wait a few seconds, and we should see a summary appear of this article. Essentially what's going on here is our pop-out script is communicating with the content script, which that content script is then traversing the DOM and parsing our article out of the DOM. Essentially, we then send that article to a background script, which is then making an external API call to OpenAI's GTP3 closed beta in order to use their summary using natural language processing. That summary is then interpreted from GTP3 and is sent back to our pop-out, which is then displayed before us on the screen. We can see that this long article was just in the matter of seconds summarized to these couple sentences. You can go ahead and read this article and the summary if you don't believe that this is really happening. What if I was writing a literary review on the COVID vaccine? Well, if I was trying to write a literary review, I imagine I would have upwards of 20 to 30 resources, right? So rather than waste my time reading this entire article only to find out that it isn't what I'm looking for, why not use Summarizer to do that for us? We go in the top right, once again, hit Summarize, and we're going to begin the summarization process. The most difficult element in building this extension was actually communication between the scripts. We're using external API calls, which are processed asynchronously, which means that we always have to be listening for the correct responses, essentially. And what we do here is we're using Chrome's API messenger, and through that, we're setting keys that tell the script when they should respond and what they should respond with. So essentially, here we go. We just got another summarization. In this article, the author discusses the effectiveness of the COVID vaccine over time. The author cites the effectiveness of the vaccine can decrease after a while, blah, 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 blah. You can see I don't have to read this entire article to get a worthy summary. Let's do it one more time. Let's say I wanted to learn about color theory for my business, but between all my business calls, it gets really difficult to learn, right? So why not click Summarize again? And we're going to summarize color theory. Let's see what and it's already done. This article discusses the science and art of color theory and its relation to the world of entrepreneurship. Color can help you build brand and get more sales. Again, we just read this article and it summarized for us all in a matter of seconds. Why read these entire articles that aren't relevant to our research when we can simply use Summarizer to do it for us? Summarizer can and will drastically change how we consume long-form content on the internet. And just like this article says, why should you care? You should care because Summarizer gives you the one thing that is most valuable in your life, your time. Using Summarizer, you can save so much more time and do the things that you really want to be doing. If you don't want to spend your time reading COVID articles, but even despite the useful information consumed within them, then use Summarizer. Take back your life 1 second at a time.